Hey everyone, my name is Gwen. Today we're going to be talking about the mid-year book Freakout. Tag. Yeah, I think I nailed that. But before we get started, just a reminder, linked down below are petitions, donations, and information about Black Lives Matter. Another note for the beginning of this video is that 1, the clouds have come out and the sun is unpredictable as always today, and 2, the AC is on. So I do apologize for any of those sounds. Okay. Now let's jump in. I was actually tagged by someone, and that was Sufficiently Advanced Lena. Go check out her channel, plus all the videos that she produces. She has tons of videos to watch and a lot of books that I don't hear a lot of people talking about, so I highly recommend. Also, she does a lot of sci-fi as well, so if you love fantasy and sci-fi, she's a great person to follow and watch. So thank you so much, Lena, for tagging me. Because I'm new to booktube and I don't read a ton of books, some of these are gonna be a lot of repeaters that you've heard, but I don't know if you've heard me talk about them in the way of answering all these questions. So there's that. So the first question is the best book you've read so far in 2020. So I've actually read quite a few 5 stars this year, but the one that I will not shut up about is The Fifth Season by N.K. Jemisin. I've talked so much about this book and my love for it. And again, if you have not read this trilogy, you need to. Number 2 is the best sequel so far that you've read this year. I've talked more negatively about this series and I think positively, but I am choosing the Crimson Campaign from the Powder Mage trilogy as so far the best second book I've read this year. This book felt like it was balanced really well from the first and third books. I felt that the pace matched the entire series and didn't falter in here and didn't slow down. And I think the arcs that happened in this book also were very well done. Third question is new release that you haven't read yet but really want to. The Girl in the Stars by Mark Lawrence. This one is part of the same world as the Ancestor trilogy, which I finished last year, and I am so excited to dive into this one. I'm probably gonna jump into it next month. That's my goal. So the fourth question is the most anticipated book release for the second half of the year. This one's the same as another tag video I did recently, which is Harrow the Ninth. So excited. So excited. So number 5 is Biggest Disappointment. I don't think I really have to talk about this book. I talked about it before. I'm just gonna say that the first half of this book was just not clicking with me. Therefore, I DNF'd the rest of the series. Sorry to anybody who loves this series. Number 6 is Biggest Surprise, Gideon the Ninth. This is another book that I gave 5 stars to this year. It's the first book where I actively knew I was reading sci-fi and I was a little bit scared about it, and it blew me away. So if you haven't read this book yet, I highly recommend it. It's super fun, it's super entertaining, and I think you're going to be surprised by how it ends. So number 7 is favorite new author, debut, or just new to you. I think personally N.K. Jemisin is going to be one of my new favorite authors because her writing is incredible. It makes me feel things that I've never felt from other writers, or for a very long time from other writers. So again, if you haven't read any of her books, which she has a lot out there now, you should read them. Okay, so number 8 is newest fictional crush. It takes a lot for me to have a crush on a character. So, oh, you know what? That's not true. I thought about it a bit more. I do. You know what? I'm gonna answer 8 and 9 together. It's newest fictional character that you like and newest fictional crush. There is a character named Rem in here who I feel I understand way more than any of the other characters, and it's the first time this year that I feel like I've connected with a character because I have a lot of the same feelings that he does about things. One of the qualities that I really love about him is how important loyalty is and how important it is to be honest with everyone, while also trying not to blurt out the blunt statements that you wish you could. Sounds like me. So yeah, Drem would be my new fictional crush and favorite new character. So the next question is a book that made you cry, and then following that is a book that made you happy. I have so many books that have made me happy and cry this year, but I am going to reserve this question for one book in general, and that is going to be the Malazan Book of the Fallen. Like, is this even a question? This series makes me laugh so much, and this series makes me cry so much. Just to answer to both of these questions in a different way, in this book alone, I laughed because whenever the Marines are together, they make you die laughing. I love them so much. And then to answer the other question, a book that made you cry, there was a scene in here that I forgot, like I completely forgot it happened. And when I finished that scene, which it was maybe, I think 3 pages, I had to put down the book and just let the tears fall for like a few minutes. This series is amazing and incredible. And again, I highly recommend it if you have not read this series before and you love adult fantasy. So number 12 is most beautiful book that you have bought this year, and that would be Evan Winter's The Rage of Dragons. This book is beautiful, and what I love the most, and this is what I love about hardcover books, is like what they do on the inside. They did such a fantastic job on color palette and the outside of the book. Like, I think they just did a fantastic job. This also answers the next question, which is, what books do you still need to read this year? This is one of them. Like I said, The Girl in the Stars, A Prince of Thorns. This is another Mark Lawrence book. This is a trilogy, one of his earliest, if not the first one he wrote and published. We then have the Witcher series. I still really need to read this series. I think I would just enjoy this because it would be easy and I know what happens in the end. Nevernight is another one that I want to get to. The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang. So many people have loved this that I follow, and I really want to read it. So I promise you guys soon I will get to this book. So I also have the books coming in that I really need to read. The 100,000 Kingdoms by N.K. Jemisin. The Sorcerer of the Wild Deeps is the next one. Children of Blood and Bone. Yes, I have never read that. The Shadow of What Was Lost is another one. So there's a lot of books that I want to read the rest of this year. Once again, thank you so much, Lena, for tagging me, and it was really fun to make. If you would like to do this tag, by all means, you are tagged by me. Anybody who watches this video, you are tagged if you have not already done this book tag. As always, my social media is linked down below, along with links for the Black Lives Matter movement, donations, and petitions to sign. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!